Hi everyone, I'm Angie Lee.
And I'm Chloe Watkins.
We're here today to talk to you about a very, very important subject. The question is, are you addicted to your cell phone?
Yes.
Chloe says yes, and so am I. There was a 60 Minutes piece by Anderson Cooper talking about Tristan Harris, who's a former Google employee, and he talked about how app developers have designed it specifically so that you become addicted to your phone. In fact, it's like a slot machine. You can't stop playing it. And as a result, Chloe has actually started a movement here in the North County.
Right.
What's it called, Chloe?
It's called 21 Days Disconnected. That 60 Minutes that I watched with Tristan Harris really fired me up.
But what does that mean? 21 days of no phone? Is that what we're talking about?
No, definitely
Okay.
not. It's kind of like cutting sugar out of your diet. You just want to have more sugar. So what you would do would be taking these steps on slowly weaning yourself off of your phone.
What's the first important step? What's the initial one that like everybody needs to get started on?
I would say just noticing how you use your phone, how often you pick it up, and just taking recognition of all of the things that your phone controls.
And Tristan said that a person on average checks their phone 150 times a day.
Right.
It's pretty alarming.
Yeah. I never noticed that I checked my phone. I unconsciously used my phone constantly, and I knew that it was a problem after seeing that, and I just wanted to do something that would help other people.
Okay, so first is becoming aware. So once you become aware that you are constantly checking this phone, what do we do next, Chloe?
I would take my phone and turn off all the notifications from robots other than friends and family, so text messages are fine, but you don't even notice sometimes that you get constant notifications from email, Instagram, Snapchat.
Bombarded with
Right.
social media notifications. Somebody liked your picture. Oh, someone didn't like your picture, but actually that feature doesn't exist.
Right.
What about location of your phone? Does it matter where you have your phone, or is there something else you can do? I know a lot of us literally use it as our alarm clock.
Right. I would actually get a real alarm clock and sleep with it outside of your phone. So charge your phone outside, maybe in the kitchen, in the hallway, just somewhere where you don't sleep, so you can get a better night's sleep.
So you would get quality sleep and also be awake from it so that you don't have to constantly try to fall asleep.
You're not just staying on your phone, checking whatever that's keeping you up and making you not have a good sleep.
So we talked about being aware, plugging the phone outside, and also you said there's a way to like reorganize actual apps in here so
Right.
that you can use it less and less.
Right, so there's some people who go on their phone and just want to flip through their apps because it's really colorful and it stimulates the brain. So a good suggestion would be to take all of the social media apps that you don't need to go on immediately, and just put them in files so that you aren't just unconsciously.
So show us on your phone what that looks like.
So what I did was I put all of the important apps on my phone. I put maps, photo, and just, text.
It looks so empty.
Yeah. And then on the second page, I just put everything in folders.
So these are like the little folders you're talking about.
Right.
Putting them in, organizing and grouping it.
Yeah.
And why is that important, Chloe? I don't understand why we have to put them in folders.
It's to not have such a clutter on your phone, so that it's not just pages and pages of apps and colorfulness that your mind just wants you to flip through. There's a lot of people who just go on their phone, open it, and don't even realize why, and that just flip through their apps.
You talked about muscle memory. But part of it is putting it in that folder forces you to take that extra step.
Right.
You consciously have to go in and say, I'm going to check my Instagram, I'm going to check my Snapchat.
Yes, and a good habit to form, or a habit to break actually, would be to mix up your apps every once in a while so that you
So if
aren't.
Instagram is usually always in the front, or
Right.
let's say my Twitter is right in the front, you want to put it in a different spot. Just move it.
I challenged myself to do that for a week, and I would change it every 2 days or so, and it was kind of strange actually when I would go to that spot where the app used to be, and I would notice, and I'd be like, wow, why am I trying to go on Instagram right now? There's no reason.
So are your friends struggling with this too? I mean, is everybody sort of like in denial? None of us really wants to put a title and say I'm quite addicted to my phone. I spend a lot of time on it. Are you finding that your friends are also struggling?
Yes, my friends definitely struggle with it. They all admit it immediately, but they don't realize how big it is and how much it is affecting them actually until they take awareness and start noticing. So one of my friends I challenged to delete his social media, not the account, but just the
app on the phone.
Right, the apps from his phone. And he sent me a message. I contacted him a week later, and he said, "Wow, Chloe, I actually found a deeper meaning for why I was trying to distract myself with all these apps."
And which is what Tristan Harris is doing. He's all about time well spent. Are we spending quality time?
Right.
Are we being efficient with our time? Are we doing the best? Because you know that it's like a rabbit hole. Once you get in there, you're like, oh, well, let's see. I mean, he was talking about how even Twitter has it set up so that notification, whether or not you had a number of followers, that's sort of delayed so that it's like a jackpot. You're like, ooh, what am I going to get? And every day,
get a treat every time.
You're like, ooh, what am I going to get today? Oh, I need to respond to this. And, it's like we're so busy. We feel like we have to be connected, sort of glued to this. It's like, mounted to our heads. But yet, even though we feel like we're more connected than ever, we're actually quite disconnected.
Right.
So the three main things, if anybody wants to get started, Chloe, would be
phase 1, which would be taking aware of how much your phone affects you.
Okay, secondly,
reorganizing your apps and charging it outside of your room where you sleep.
And then maybe a third one, if you're up for the challenge, move around your apps in different spots so that you can do that. So for more information, where can they go, Chloe?
They can go to my website, which is www.21days.com, and that has a lot more information on it. It has actual steps on what you can do, even further than just reorganizing your apps.
And what's funny is that people don't know this. Chloe actually tried it. It took her more than 21 days to really become aware. Tell us about that a little bit. What was your personal experience like? Because I haven't started it. I have yet to do it now, but I will.
Right. It did take me longer than 21 days. It was a slow struggle. I didn't really want to delete my apps, but I realized that I was hiding other personal things, and I was going to these apps to try and fill that emptiness. After deleting those apps, I would delete and re-download, and it was just exhausting. Now I finally, after 21 days, probably took me about 30 to get to a point where I'm comfortable with being away from my phone.
And you said you're not even really checking your phone that often
I
anymore.
really don't. No, I don't. And I don't even have social media anymore, so it's just another step.
But you feel like a sense of freedom from it.
I definitely do.
You didn't realize the bondage that you were under. And I think perhaps a lot of us don't understand that while these devices are incredibly helpful, they can, cause quite a detriment to your lifestyle. And he said 1 ounce of distraction, whether you got a notification or an email or a text message, will actually set you back about 23 minutes.
Right.
Like it takes 23 minutes to go back into what you were doing, whether you're at work and you're trying to be productive.
Right.
It delays you. And so we have to think really consciously about what these phones do with our time. And as a mom, I think about what am I teaching my kids? I'm not being a great role model if I'm always on my phone and I'm telling them to get off their phone. So we want to have a healthy relationship, and we want to start the conversation, because we're not saying like all or nothing, right, Chloe?
No, definitely not.
I have people, that's never really helpful, trying to do it cold turkey.
No, a lot of friends don't want to do the 21 days disconnected because they're like, what? 21 days without my phone or social media? They definitely freak out. And that is not what I'm saying. I think Instagram and Facebook is a great way to connect with friends and family, or even be inspired, because Instagram is very creative.
Yeah.
But we are very dependent on it and have put a pedestal on how we judge each other.
I agree. So let's get back to a sense of control, a sense of balance, where our phones aren't dictating who we are. So please check out Chloe's website if you want additional steps on just how to take that. You don't have to do all of this. We're just saying if you just become aware, right? Today I'm aware that I was on my phone 150 times, so tomorrow I'm going to try 120 times. Whatever it is, I think it's just the consciousness. If you are intentional about your actions towards your phone, it can make a huge difference.
Definitely.
So be inspired and try something new today, and thanks for watching.
Thanks.